Hi, my name is Alexis Sarra from the EMEA Center of Excellence. I'm looking after our analytics and insight cloud business. And today, in this presentation, I will talk to you about SAP Digital Boardroom, our analytics product designed for executive meeting or non-executive meeting, where people need to discuss, analyze, and take action on their data. In this example, it's based on SAP type of data. So first of all, don't take this data as granted and don't invest in stocks based on those. It's data that we have randomized, but it's to give you an idea of the experience. And the way we use the digital boardroom at SAP. So what do we see? We see three screens. It's working on three screens, or it can also work on one screen. It can work on laptop if needed. It can work on Microsoft Surface Hub if you want to have also collaborative from the Microsoft side of the technology. In this case, we do like the three screen because it gives us the capability, first of all, to have an overview of what's happening or the subject of the meeting. In this case, it will give us an overview of the company. It also gives us an exploration screen, and I will come back quite a lot of that during the demo. And it gives us a context screen where we can get more details. All of that will be covered, of course, in the next 5 minutes of the presentation. What is very interesting is to understand that this is not just about displaying the information. It's a lot on the collaboration on the information. So as explained, we have the overview. What we can see is the financial performance of the company, some, for example, of our new customer, our new S4 customers, some information about our workforce, some of our notification, I'll come back to that later on, and some external news. In this case, it's RSS feed. It can bring information about macroeconomic information, news feed on the company, and those kind of things. Then on the third screen, what do we have? We have information about the macroeconomic development. Once again, some news from the market on the political or economical information. Some information about conversion rate. Some information, for example, about the stock or on stock as well as our competitors. And some information in terms of benchmark of the competitor. The idea there is to help us to see where we sit versus our competition. Now playing the role of the VP of Sales, I want to focus a little bit on our HR business in North America, which is doing quite well, and it's one of my notifications. So just by clicking and going into details, I'm going to bring extra information. So what do I see? I see for our business in North America that our pipeline is quite good. We have roughly the same number of pipeline as we had the year before. We have a number of leads. We can see our top product. We can see our forecasting. So it's an automated forecasting. It's not manual forecasting. It's really the system that, based on historical data, will predict the future in an automated way. And thanks to the power of HANA, we can do not only a forecast, but a best case and a worst case, because we will do our predictive not on aggregated data, but on raw data, which will give us a lot more precise type of predictive. And one of the interests of the digital boardroom is to be able to answer questions on the fly that you may not have prepared, but someone in the audience could ask you. In my example, looking at the pipeline, let's say that my COO is saying, okay, this is good, but how do you compare towards Europe? Is it just the US that is doing well, or Europe? What I can now go is go in what we call explorer mode, where I can really explore my data. Nothing has to be prepared. It's really exploring data, I would say in a raw format, meaning that you can answer all the questions without the need to prepare them. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to look at 2017, and I'm going also to look at EMEA, so I can filter the different value, and I can choose the value to display. And what do I see? I see that North America is indeed doing a little bit over twice what EMEA is doing for this specific business, which is quite interesting in this case, and validate the concept that the US is doing quite good. And now in the same audience, we could have someone else saying, okay, but is it linked to a specific industry? Let's say someone from marketing wanting to know if we need to do more campaign or something like that. So once again, I can add information. So what I can do is I can bring an extra dimension. In this case, I will bring the industry dimension. I'm not interested in EMEA anymore as I'm focusing on the US. And then I can display by industry. Now it's a bar chart. It may not be the best visualization in this case. Not a problem. So visualization can be auto-suggested, or I can choose from a series of visualization. And in this case, I can display as a pie chart. What do I see? I have three main industry, being high-tech, consumer product, as well as industrial machinery, that is bringing roughly a little bit over half of my potential revenue. So I know that maybe I need to do some specific campaign. Really, the interest there is that we can drill in any kind of information. We can go down to specific transaction without, once again, the need always to prepare. Exiting the exploration mode and going back to my forecasting, once again, in the audience, I could have someone asking more questions saying, okay, all of that is good, but our HR product is a cloud product. It's called SuccessFactors. And the worst that could happen for a company like SAP is to sell something that we could not deliver, that will have a big impact on our brand, our image, our relation with the customer. So we need to be sure that we can deliver on this. And someone may say, okay, based on your forecast, can we deliver? We can start to go then in details, understanding a little bit more. Once again, I have my best case, my worst case, my forecast. I have some of my key indicators for my cloud business, my renewal, and I have my server capacity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in details in terms of my server capacity. And what do I see? I see that my data center usage, I see my data center investment, my operation workforce, my infrastructure by vendor in terms of invoice, a table giving me a little bit more details. And what do I see? I see in blue my actual, which are okay. I'm really at roughly 53% of usage. But now, including the planning aspect of it, so based on my forecast, what do I see? If I sell what is planned to be sold, I will be at 140%. So not only that I will be over 100%, I will even be over 85%, which is a threshold, as we need to keep a little bit of a spare capacity in case of downtime, in case of upgrade, all these kind of things. So now in the discussion, I could have someone, let's say from IT, my IT director, saying, okay, but you know, in our US data center, we still have some space. We can accommodate for 25% more server. And then I can start to do simulation. What if I increase by 25% my server capacity? And directly, I will see the impact. I'm still a little bit over in terms of usage. I will be okay, but I'm a little bit over my threshold of 85%. But it will also adapt on my investment, in my workforce, all the things. Because one of the strengths, once again, of the digital boardroom is to be able to combine information from different sources. From my data center, from my financial system, from my HR system in terms of workforce, all these kind of things could be combined in one screen. So quite interesting. I see 2025 is not enough. What if 225,000 server? What if I increase this number? And I can then, for example, put 250,000 server. What will be the impact? If then I increase to 250, I will be below my 85% threshold. So I can start to do different versions. I can start to, in fact, have different versions. What if I increase instead my data center in Canada? As you can see on the map, we can represent the information in a geographical way. We can represent point of type of information, heat map. We can also represent the path. So for example, destination and origin. If you want to represent flight, if you want to represent from a warehouse to a shop, all these kind of things. And in fact, in the roadmap, in the near future, we will even be able to represent routes. Our maps go from large country and global down, in fact, to street level. If I zoom in Paris, I will be able to see the street, and I can represent the information using latitude and longitude down to street level. Common example, if you want to represent where your customers are coming from for a specific shop, or where are your employees based, all this kind of information. What is also quite interesting with SAP Digital Boardroom, as you may have noticed, I have an iPad running at the same time, and everything I'm doing on the Digital Boardroom is replicated on the iPad. And the reason there is that if someone could not attend the meeting, quite often an exec member or someone attending the meetings need to be in another country, those kind of things, he can then remote collaborate using the iPad and see exactly what I'm seeing. I can do, for example, some annotation. And this will be replicated on my iPad. And the person that is working remotely on an iPad or on a laptop can even control the digital boardroom. So it could be, he can request presenter right, and using his iPad or his laptop can control the full digital boardroom to present one of the subjects.